From time to time, children are brought before the court. No matter how horrible the offense is, there are certain names that they should not be called. The preferred phrase is children in conflict with the law. This and many other strategies are objectives of the National Plan of Action for Child Justice.
There were several factors that were raised and concerns that were raised by all stakeholders, the public, in response to the number of children that were coming into the court system, the number of children, whether it was in need of care and protection or in conflict with the law, and also recommendations coming from the children's advocate in how children were being handled in our court system.
The government listened and a course of action was charted. The National Plan of Action for Child Justice 2010 to 2014 was approved by Cabinet in October 2011. A plan that is consistent with international protocol such as the International Convention on the Rights of the Child and the 1990 World Summit for Children Declaration. It tries to identify the best method of dealing with those cases when children commit acts of violence and finding a way to free the judicial system of many of these cases.
The Plan of Action has several strategies on it that address the child, prevention of the child coming into the justice system, to the adjudication of cases, to the disposal of the case.
Putting together this plan of action has been almost like a family effort. The project's parent body is the Ministry of Justice, but like a village raising a child, several other government agencies are instrumental in the grooming of this program, including the Ministries of National Security, Health, Education, and Youth, Sports and Culture, and the Planning Institute of Jamaica. And as every such program needs funding, the United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF came on board, providing some 22 million Canadian dollars to implement the plan.
We want to thank UNICEF for assisting us, especially with the funding, because our young people are our future. And to the extent that we can attract them to do what is right, instead of punishing them for doing what is wrong, it will be a policy that we will be pursuing vigorously.
There is a forthright goal of the National Plan of Action for Child Justice: to develop and sustain a justice system in which the best interest of the child is paramount in the administration of the programs to secure their protection and in the maintenance of the rule of law.
What the Ministry of Justice is trying to do is to ensure that they don't get a conviction, or for that matter, experience the trauma of having to go to court.
One strategy being employed is to establish family courts across the island. In 2011, the first family court doors were opened in Lucy, Hanover. Within the next 5 years, the government intends to establish 3 other family courtrooms in Clarendon, St. James, and Manchester. One other strategy has already been completed: a training program for persons charged with the care and development of children. Back in November 2010, children officers, police personnel, probation officers, resident magistrates, and other judiciary members were trained in child rights responsibilities and international protocol. With 2014 fast approaching, the government has also implemented another strategy stipulated in the National Plan of Action for Child Justice. Remand facilities, one for males and another for females, must be constructed. In June 2011, the Metcalfe Street facility was opened and is operational. Plans are now in train to establish the St. Andrew facility for females. Another critical strategy is at the draft stage and is out for public consultation. It's what's called the Child Diversion Policy. This calls for sending children in conflict with the law to participate in diversionary programs that will aid in their rehabilitation, rather than sending them to correctional facilities.
It is a very important policy for the Ministry of Justice, because we have situations in which far too many of our youngsters, because of perhaps poor parental control, perhaps because of association with the wrong types of people, because of peer pressure, because of the communities in which they emerge from, that far too many of our young people are getting into trouble and engage in wrongdoing.
Government is not blind to the problems associated with children and the justice system, and is attempting to address those issues, using this document as the template for protecting and rehabilitating children in conflict with the law. To learn more about the National Plan of Action for Child Justice, visit the Ministry of Justice's website.